Thanks, everybody. So question, I just have some questions here. So how many of you guys have ever used the Shazam app? How many of you have the Shazam app? All right, so I'm the founder of Digital Stage IO. I was previously running Shazam here in Germany prior to the Apple acquisition. So this isn't like our Digital Stage pitch. It's more to talk about what brands have done to kind of gamify experiences using AR and VR, and then also like how NFTs can actually expand those Web 2 experiences. So Digital Stage, we actually, just to give you background on Digital Stage, we actually found it as a Web 2 platform for artists to monetize. So this was, during lockdown, we developed a platform for artists to be able to monetize their fan experiences. So ticketed live streams, selling merch, these types of things. And then we ended up working with a lot of big artists. So we've worked with like Måneskin, Kings of Leon. And when we worked with Kings of Leon was when we started to get into the Web3 space because they did the first music NFT. And it was kind of an overlap of, we were doing these super fan events for them and then, leading to people buying the NFT. So that's not why we're here. We made this discovery that Web3 is really the way to connect with fans, to build community. And what Web 2 showed us, to take a step back, is like XR, what we just saw, that's a real thing. People really do engage with these types of things, but it's a matter of where they engage. So this is actually a campaign we did at Shazam, which was an augmented reality for active O2 water. How many of you guys have ever bought this water? It's like, so this is, I don't know if the video will play. Oop. The video does not play. I need to get back. So this is a video. Basically, you scan this code using the Shazam app. It would give you this augmented reality experience with, basically the snowboarder jumps off of the bottle at you, and there's some music playing, etc. So it's really like, it's really an engagement. So XR delivers this engagement, right? So here's some others that we did. So you can see here, this is what it looked like with the water bottle. We also worked with Porsche. We even worked with Deutsche Bahn. So the Deutsche Bahn was doing augmented reality with Shazam. This campaign actually got us into a little bit of trouble because Nico Rosberg, it was like you basically would take a selfie with Nico Rosberg, put it on social media, and Nico Rosberg's management actually got upset with us because it looked too real. So then, so these are fun things, right? Like, so with this Porsche ad, the cars on the page would start to drive off the page of the magazine ad, things like that. So it's an engagement, it's fun. It's like saying hello to a fan or to a customer, right? So it's just things that you can play with. So the issue is, it was all on a platform. And when Apple bought Shazam, they deplatformed all of these experiences. And so you see here with KitKat. So that was in Australia. There were 5 million KitKat packages sitting in stores in Australia with a Shazam call to action. Shazam to win a trip, Shazam to win, a shopping spree, like all of these things. Apple turned them off in one day. So all of these experiences are gone. None of them work anymore. There was nothing sticky with the customers. So that's the big issue. And then you see even like here with this pizza box, it was like an engagement of you would scan it with Shazam, it would then give you a little stand-up routine video from a comic that you could watch while you're eating your pizza by yourself. So these are just like fun engagements, but they're not really anything that we can really count on. So that's why we look at now, I showed you a pizza from Spain, now we look at what Papa John's did. Papa John's is actually, when you order a pizza, you get an NFT that is metaverse ready, a handbag. So they're actually giving you something with value. So that's the biggest difference now with NFTs over these types of Web 2 experiences, is we actually are able to give the fan or the customer something of value that they can keep, right? And it's not going to hopefully be deplatformed. Have you guys heard about this with Starbucks? Like, they're basically creating a Web 3 fan community. So this is really interesting, but then the question is, how many of their customers are actually already in our universe, right? So when we're talking to brands, we're talking to even the record labels that we're talking to. Their biggest concern right now with NFTs is what's the adoption, what are the steps that a non-crypto native has to go through to actually engage with NFTs. And so that's like really the big question at the moment. And to be honest, you know, we've all heard about like what Nike's doing, what Lamborghini is doing, what Porsche is doing with NFTs, but we're getting approached by brands like Lidl and Aldi to do what can they do with NFTs? And we're like, eh. And there's a couple of brands here, a couple of companies here in Berlin. They've actually bought land in the metaverse. So one is on Decentraland, one is in Roblox. And they've basically just put up an out-of-home billboard, and then they sell that to brands like Seat, and then the brand can say, oh, we did something in the metaverse. It's like you literally just bought an ad on a billboard in the metaverse, right? So these are the kinds of things that we're seeing brands do right now. But I think that this actually makes more sense because what we're talking about with Web3 is how can we actually create engagements. So with Digital Stage, so we can build relationships. With Digital Stage, we're actually trying to think beyond NFTs for music, right? So we're thinking about how can an artist engage in the real world and in Web3. So right now, if you look at how an artist makes money, it's typically from concert tickets and merch. So if you're a musician, you can actually make more money from selling one T-shirt than you can from 5,000 streams on Spotify. So it's ridiculous how like merch is important for an artist. So what we've created is a solution to solve some of these Web3 challenges that we're facing with non-crypto natives. So, you know, we get the wallet and crypto adoption is not there. Adoption of metaverse is not there amongst their fans. Overcoming negative environmental perceptions. So we still have artists come to us and say, oh, I can't do something that's bad for the environment. And it's like, you know, the blockchains we're using are, you know, not bad for the environment. And then also ease of use. So there was a band in the UK last month. They attached an NFT to a vinyl record. How many people here have bought a vinyl record? Okay, so like 6. Anyway, so they attached an NFT to their vinyl record, and then they had a problem of the user had to actually download like 3 different apps to claim the NFT. They had to buy a wallet, they had to get a wallet, they had to buy crypto, then they had to come and get another wallet to actually activate with the code. So to do that, we created an app that allows you to basically log in with just your phone number. We have our own custodial wallet, so the user doesn't have to actually buy crypto, and then they can claim the NFT for free, just from having bought the real life item. So if it's a T-shirt, merch, whatever. But what we're finding is we're actually working more with brands. So right now, one of the projects we're working on is with a wine brand. And this wine company has actually created a utility NFT. So when you buy this year's vintage, which is like 100 euros a bottle, you will get an NFT that you can claim using the app. And that NFT then gives you access to pre-order next year's at a discounted rate, because it's one of these exclusive wines with like 1,000, they only vent like 1,000 bottles a year. So this is basically what we're trying to do, is to help normies, bring them into the Web3 space, because like I said, if we're talking to Aldi, can you guys imagine how many people shopping at Aldi have a crypto wallet? So here you can see this is something that we did with Sony Music. It was basically the NFT itself is just a little like virtual message from the artist, and it's not. So the takeaway is Web3 is connecting the world. It's a question. I stopped short so I can answer some questions.
Do you approach brands directly, or do you go over an advertising agency which already has the idea?
It's both, right? So like my worry about NFTs at the moment is it's the hot shit, right? So you have all these brand managers coming to you and say, hey, I want to do it. And we saw the same thing with AR, VR 5 years ago, because all the brand managers at BMW were like, hey, we have to do AR. And they're like they're buying stuff from Snapchat. It's like, okay, you just advertised a $60,000 BMW to a bunch of teenagers. Why? Right? It's like they just want to do it because it's a hot ship. To answer your question, brand managers, you also have creative agencies more. So, you have like Heimat and Jungbar Matt and the like.
And do you also make some kind of sustainable cases in a way, not meaning sustainable, but like more long-sighted, like I feel like, okay, and then they have this fun NFT and then the brand manager doesn't care anymore like 3 months later. Do you have anything where you actually have a brand saying, okay, let's really think this a little bit like a business model. This is the first one and this is the next 10 we're going to do.
This is the challenge, right? So this is what this is what we're talking to all these folks about, because they still think like Web 2 campaign. It's like all the stuff I showed you from Shazam was like a campaign that was going to last 3 months. None of it was meant to be, a business model or a new way of engaging with customers. And that's why the Starbucks case is so important, because they're actually using this as like a new channel, right? It's like they're replacing social media with Web 3. Cool, guys. All right, thanks.